been really nice. And I don't know how much of the symposium, how many sessions you've been able to watch, so you will tell us about that.
Of course.
But,
So I think before I talk about symposium, if I talk about the mediator Vikram, whom I know, that should be fine. Is
so
it okay
nice,
with you?
so nice. Why not?
Because see, I think the symposium comes second for me. The first is Vikram. So I know with this Vikram for last 5 years, someone who really was keen and serious to promote mediation. The person who really understood what is mediation and power of mediation. I met him first. So I have to talk about him for a second, if you allow me.
Wow, that'll be so nice. Look, sometimes it's nice to get some, as long as it's all good.
So this Vikram who talked to me first time, he was really, passionate about mediation, and he really wanted the mediation to work, and there should not be boundaries. The real sense of mediation, he talked to me, and I still remember that Vikram. I was really impressed, and then he wanted everybody to come together and start something nice. But I saw, a principle there that either we walk together or ekla chalo. So I really respect that Vikram also, because he took a step ahead and he said, okay, at this stage, maybe what I want and my ideas are not gulpable or understood by everybody. So maybe let me, take the thing together, start my journey, and karwa judta jayega. If I am
Absolutely.
understanding you correctly.
Absolutely. You got it. Ekdam on the point, total.
Okay, so this is a mediator, Vikram, I know. So thank you, Vikram, for starting this, and you're doing wonderful job. You're really doing well. You're really trying to bring the universe under one umbrella. All the admirers, mediators, parties who want to understand mediation, this is the best forum, and you are giving them a platform to understand what is mediation, how the mediators are, how they look alike, क्या उनके ऊपर सिंह है, all these things. It's a really nice thing. Now coming to your symposium. So when you started it, as I remember, this was a concept that you wanted to float the idea what is mediation and what are mediators and how we can work together. So you wanted internationally everybody to understand that yes, here are we, part of on that globe, India, and these are the Indian mediators who also are working same passion, same work, and same motto. So let's come together. I can say Ubuntu principle,
Absolutely.
and you
Absolutely.
started that. So yes, thank you very much, and you have done that work, and that was my, according to me, your first one.
Yep.
Now this time you have come with another theme. The baby is growing, and this time you have come with the indigenous people. So the idea, what I felt is, you wanted to go one step ahead and say, the whole globe you take, each country will have their own tribals, because that's how then thereafter we have, and everyone had before this colonial, the jurisdiction, so-called justice, all these words. We had our own system, we had our own culture, and that culture had a dispute resolution mechanism. So this dispute resolution mechanism uh, is wonderful. If we study, we understand, it's amazing. So I think this is what is your agenda about this, as I understand. I'm sorry if I have not understood you, please make me understand.
No, no, as you've on the, I mean, as I'm saying, Shilpa, you understood exactly what has to happen. Only thing is that now you have to get a little more involved. I know you're a busy woman, but you have to get more involved. There is so much work to do. I mean, there's so much work to do. And that is what I've been trying to say from through all throughout, that if I can have Shilpa be a full-time mediator, my job is done. That's how I look at it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so
Thank you very
let me
much.
just put it out. This is week one. These were the speakers in week one.
Great,
And
excellent.
of
I've
course, we
seen
had,
them and they were wonderful.
yeah, so of course, Ken Cloke started it off.
Yes.
And then maybe from all parts of the world. See, so that's week one. Let me just put up week one, week two, week three, just to put it out that yes, we've had some wonderful speakers because finally, I mean, I don't know how much time people get to watch these sessions because there's so many of them and there's so much other stuff on the channel. So I don't know where some things get lost in the background. I don't know. So then we had, of course, let me put up week three itself with this week. So this week, oh, I mean, okay, this week and next week also. Although some people could not come in this week, hopefully they'll come in next week. So whom do we have? Of course, Girishji, definitely I wanted him to come, but like I put out also that there was some person from the nomadic community who died in
Not
lockdown.
here, since he's not here, but I would like to, give you a few, I mean, lines about him, his greatness, and then I want to give you some of the examples which he had shared with us.
Yeah, please. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, you can do it on the session. Okay. So and then we have, of course, I mean, John Bukaj was so nice. I got him again. We had part 2 with him. And then we had like yesterday we had a Mrs. Canada Globe, Lorelei.
Yes.
And then we have Peru, Ecuador. Sarah's come on other events. It's been really nice talking to her. So she's in Australia. Lynn will not be able to join us because she had some personal matter she had to handle. Then Madhu actually took us through a specific community in Australia with whom he was working. And actually they were able to resolve a very, I mean, it became violent, that conflict. And how there was some boy was murdered. And then those two committees, it started with a few people. But basically, first those two people, one got murdered, then that little community, then the larger other communities got involved, and over years it became really high. So he's took us through that whole involvement and how they were able to sort it out. So it's a good case study available to us. And Rosalia, of course, has come another thing. Tanu was supposed to come today, but she's not well. So hopefully Tuesday I fixed up. Hopefully she'll be all right. Jim, of course, from a community, taken us through his experience is interesting. Archana was well researched thing. David Shimoni had come in the last symposium, and I felt, and he also felt that part of it should come out in this. It was about Jews who came in from the Balkans into Israel, and he's looking at a hybrid model that he spoke about. So he'll speak about that. Shilpa, of course, our wonderful mediator from India, who's doing wonderful work. And of course, we have to move her out of the court. That is the only little challenge that we have to do. So Shilpa, it's all about you and the topic. And of course, like you said, you'll talk about Girish ji also. So please.
Yes, thank you very much, Vikram. So before I start on the topic, I would like to, draw your attention, everybody's that, I'm going to only focus on India today and a small part of India. Okay. But before going to that, I want to just give you a few information. So am I allowed to?
Yeah, please.
Okay, just give me a second then.
But today also you're sitting in court. Shilpa?
Yes, I can't hear you. Just a second. Just a second. I'm just.
Then what I'll do is I'll put out the.
Just a minute. Huh?
Yeah, I'll just put the website up till then so that people know where to find the schedule, because the schedule has all the links to the various recordings. So let me just put that up so that people can find it there. Yes. So basically going to mediatorvikram.com and going down to read about the World Media Circle, which I'll speak to Shilpa about also. Schedule of activities, just go down there and there is the link to the schedule. This is the important one because it has all the links to links to the speakers and the sessions. And the World Mediators Conference also schedule, that was about 90 sessions. So that is here. Other events are also mentioned here. So please go to mediatorvikram.com and find it there. Yes, Shilpa. I was asking, are you in court today? Sitting in court?
Yes.
My God, that's the.
I had to come for one matter, which was, I had to start. And after this, again, I have some mediations. So I have taken the permission of our Bangalore Mediation Center's Deputy Director that I'm going to conduct this for some time here. So he agreed, and I'm really thankful to him. And yes, I'm here.
Good. That's the kind of thing. That's what I'm saying. Full-time mediator is what we need. Other things that you do in court, we have to. First of all, we have to move you out of the court itself. Mediation, we have to move out of the court. That is going to happen step by step. Let's get there.
Okay, so some information I want to share with you is about our constitution first. Okay, so I know we are not going to discuss about the law, but I want the world to know that in India, our constitution recognizes them. That's a very important thing, according to me, that, there are Schedule 5 of Constitution recognizes tribal communities in India under, I said, Schedule 5. And so they are recognized and known as a scheduled tribes. So we call them in short ST. Okay. And how many you can imagine that there are 645 tribes. So they are all over India. But today I'm going to only talk about few, that is Maharashtra and Karnataka. Okay. And then I will focus on further narrow it down. So if we talk about Maharashtra, we have got something called Baina. I may be pronouncing them wrong because please understand that, they have their own pronunciation. Everybody has their style, language. And that's the reason you will find that, somebody is saying that Baina, somebody must be speaking, saying it in another way. So please pardon me for my, pronunciations. So there are these tribes, and they are like in the 50,000 to 1 lakh kind of a population, but still they are maintaining that culture. That's important, and their pattern of dispute resolution. That's something I found it very interesting. Then they are Bunjia, then Dhodia, Katari, Kond, and Rathwa, Warlis. As Warlis, we know very well because of their Warli painting, they have become famous, but they are also one of them. Dhanka, Halba, and it goes on. As well as in the, there are some Adivasis, Kolis, Konkana, Pardhi, and sir was supposed to talk about Pardhi because he has been working over more than 3 decades with this Pardhi community, and he has done a lot of work for them. And Prabhu Nesa, I'm talking about, and he is working with them. They are people whom you can find near Pune. Away from that, but they are working, they are there. And so Karnataka also we have got Adiyan, we have got Barda, we have got Gond, we have got Bhil, we have got, and then Koranga, and it goes on. Then even here we have got in Karnataka Koli, but they are called Koli Dhor, or Marathi they are called, Medha they are called. So these are the communities we are finding, and the largest one in India is Madhya Pradesh. And we will be surprised to see that Madhya Pradesh has got next to, followed by Orissa. And we remember Orissa, we had 2 speakers and they have given their information. And the largest number is Chhattisgarh. So we have got that. But beauty is, and surprisingly, I was surprised when I was doing this research and I was studying for this particular symposium, that in Punjab, Delhi, Chandigarh, Pondicherry and Haryana, we do not have any scheduled tribes. Very surprising, but that is a fact that we do not have any single name coming up. And this is the background I wanted to give you. Now let's come to the points. Okay, so when we talked about these many, every single community, I will call them tribes community because they are the small community now, and how they have developed in their own culture. Okay, so very recently I was doing my, as you know, MA in mediation and conflict resolution from MNLU. At that time, I had taken one dissertation, and that was according to me, mediation. When we talk about, I believe that every mediation, I call it a multicultural mediation. In India, whenever any mediation takes place, I believe that you cannot say, even if it is dispute between us, husband and wife, I felt that every human being here in India comes with their baggage of culture, and then they get married. The culture can be where they stayed, where they are born and brought up, what their family belongs to, the community, their educational background, their economical background. It keeps changing. It is multiplicity. You keep developing it, and that is your culture. And the other partner, who is your spouse, even he or she has developed that. So that's the reason in India we find that every person has got their own culture, and so as the mediator who sits there. So that's the reason when we three are there and the advocates, it's always a multicultural mediation. So here we talk about indigenous peoples. So when we talk about, I was just thinking of, taking help of my one of the brother who stays on farms, and this is in Maharashtra, Palghar district, Wada. The place is known as Wada, which is reserved for the tribals. And even today, they are maintaining that culture. I was very lucky to speak to certain senior citizens to understand. Today, they have got surely Gram Panchayat, and Sarpanch is there, uh, and there is a police party. Okay, so this I try to understand from them what they understand. But same like our sister who had come from Orissa, to do. Sorry, I'm so the way she was unaware about their own culture and language, same way these people also, I found that there is a little gap. But then they introduced me to certain senior citizens of that community who were once upon a time punch, once upon a time they were the mediators, and their pattern of working. And I was really excited and I was really happy, and I would like to share that information with you today, that this particular place is a very small place, and there comes the a group of people, I would say. They were not sarpanch. That is a beauty, okay, which is really interesting for me, because every time we see that sarpanch is a person, you can take it, when we talk about the conflict, I look at him very close to arbitration, where the disputes are taken, and those disputes are referred. Both the parties, they come, they present their case, and after presentation, they also discuss about the what they want, the wants, the needs, and after listening to both the parties, Panch, who is five. And I remember you had said it in one of your symposium that I don't know why this Panch. If you allow me, I will give you the answer. I have my philosophy. Why Panch? See, if there is one, this is arbitrary, because there is a possibility of, in olden days, to trust that person, whether he will be biased on one side. The two people, then there is going to be division, perfect division. Three, again, the problem is 2 versus 1. So the one person who is there, that one single person will feel that there is but when there is 5, there is a perfect division. And then, that evaluation, the 5 people, 5 thoughts, I feel so. So I think maybe that's a concept we have to really, I will get back to you when I study on that. Okay. But this is what I felt at that particular minute when you asked that question and you asked. So here in Vada, what was happening was, I will give you three best of the examples. First example is there was a dispute between brothers. Naturally, property, land is always important to everyone for, because the Vada is a place known for the agriculture. Okay, so naturally agriculture, the land, the dispute. So this dispute was between the two brothers, and these two brothers had a major tussle over it, and finally they took lathi sticks in their hand and they started fighting. One of the brother, he was almost dead, 50%. You can say half murder in terms. But luckily, this is a old incident. So the community themselves, they have got a rule that any dispute happens before it goes to the police station, it has to be addressed here. Okay, and that will be taken by Madhyastha. Madhyastha is, in our today's mediation term, Madhyastha is a mediator. Now here I will give you the description and then I will say how, yes, it is matching with our mediation and where it is little away from our mediation concept. So this dispute occurred and then naturally parties came, they tried to take them away and the other person was given his medication and all these things. He was all right. Thereafter, these parties, Madhyastha, okay, he went and met both the parties. Now that is a concept of private mediation. What we call it a private mediation. I will just give you a step by step. He went to both the parties and he was recognized and admired by everybody in the society. He was not a punch. That is a beauty. He was a third party. So what we talk about mediation, independent individual third party. So that person goes to these two people and then he talks about the dispute. He tries to understand and he never gave them a suggestion. That was an important aspect for me, that you go and talk to your brother, you say sorry, otherwise there will be a legal criminal charge. He never did that. He just tried to understand the concept. Why? What is the issue? Why are you fighting? He only tried to understand from them and he created a dialogue. That was a beauty. So the dialogue was created. And as a result, the two brothers who were not ready to look at each other eye to eye, they had separated from the main house. They started their dialogue. So a second success story, according to me, the starting of the dialogue. So the moment they started a dialogue, they realized the concept, they understood. It took a lot of time. It was not like today's generation. When we talk about the court annex mediation, we say 60 days. So it was not that. It took time for him to take them to the process and he took his own time. I mean, basically, I cannot say he took his own time. Parties took their own time to understand, to settle, to come out of that vengeance, to come out of that, atmosphere, which was naturally poisonous. So they came out of the whole system, the situation, and thereafter, they came together, they sat. When they sat, he saw to it that they talk on the land issue. And then they settled the land issue. Today, the success story is both the families are back in the joint family house and they are staying together. I think this is a wonderful thing. And here there was no punch, right? So I find that, yes, this is mediation. This is mediation, simple reason because he was one of the independent individual, impartial person who did not take anybody's side, who did not influence either party, who did not give the suggestions. He did not play with their, emotions or words. He was neutral. So I think this is a wonderful example of WADA settling this matter, and today we are seeing the success story that both the brothers and their families are staying happily under one roof and they have sorted their issue. So this is one example. Second example was about husband and wife. Now this is something out of box. Okay. Again, this is a old example he gave, because he said that recent past, in last 20 years, we are seeing the dynamic change. The law is taking more, it is surfacing, and every single person is thinking that they have to go to court, they have to do this. So he said that it has taken a setback, unfortunately, but still they are resolving small disputes when there are disputes between brother sister, or there are disputes between husband wife, they are settling the same way. And then he said that if that dispute is not settled, then it goes to Panch. Okay. And I was very happy to know they have a lady Sarpanch now who is only 26, 28-year-old. And she is able to, so I can see that woman empowerment, equality, the proportionate, their population, if you see, it is 53-47. So 53% of the male and 47% of the female. So that means there is no, they respect the Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. And the reason we can see is that Lady Sarpanch is there, who is a very young, dynamic, and she is able to, handle the issues. That is a power. Now I'll give you one more example. Okay, before I stop at this particular WADA and their, practice. So another example is that there was an issue between husband and wife, and man had one wife, two children, and then for people, they don't know what is the reason. The dispute between them, it is behind in the room. So they don't know. But one day they realize this man has got married to another woman. This lady said nothing. She just succumbed to that, and she was quiet. She was staying with them. After a while, they realized that this lady has moved out of that house and she has gone to her parents' place. Now, please understand, this is a small place. So when a lady is moving out of this house and going here, everybody knows that she is here and she is not going back. So being a small village, you understand all the activities, you are observing, and everyone is going to everyone's house and all these things are happening. So the beauty was that when she did not come back for a year, everybody started talking about, they went to her place, and then they said, again, mediation concept, not Sarpanch. Please see, the involvement of Sarpanch was not there. Okay, so some of the Madhyastha who are Buzurg, you can say, the elder members of that particular society, who are, prudent people, who went to her and they tried to talk to her, ask her, why are you not going back to your husband? What do you want? What are your needs? How are you going to sustain yourself? Because you are staying with your father, who is a very old father. Your brother is married, his family is there. So we can see here the concern. They were just trying to understand from her how we are going to get it done. So she did not answer anything because she was so scared. She was scared of her husband. She didn't want to respond anything. She just wanted to keep away everybody. They went back and they went and met the husband. So husband did not give a proper response. He did not give the information and he did not want a help. They just stopped at that. There they failed. The mediation failed. Okay. They did not take any decision. Thereafter, they escalated it to Sarpanch. They put it before the Sarpanch and they said, and there is something called Patil, Police Patil. So they put it before these people, officers, and they said, this is what is happening in our village. This lady is staying here now almost more than 2 years now. Last 1 year we have tried, it has not happened. Now we have to consider, because she is a lady, she is very young, because in villages, the marriages happen at a very young age. So you, even though you have got 2 kids, you are very young. So these two are children, their education is important, their life is important, their well-being is important. Right now she is saying it is a big responsibility for her old parents. And so they consider all these aspects, and then they met first his father, her father. He said, yes, this is an issue. I don't mind. Please, I would request you to take it before Panch now, because we have failed. We tried, the certain Madhyastha had approached us and we failed. We could not create a dialogue. And then that went to the Sarpanch. They took a decision, and that was an amazing decision, I think, because in their community, if a man disowns a wife, he just leaves the wife, they say kadimod, means take a divorce. If you are not taking a divorce, then a lady is given the right by Panch. After considering all the evidence, they said she should get remarried. So she said, I cannot. My husband is there. He won't let me. So I have to stay like this. They said, nothing doing. We are here and we will take it up, even if it becomes a legal issue. They stepped in. They called him. He naturally did not come. So they took a decision, and like arbitration, the notice was sent. The party did not turn up. Ex parte order is passed. So in same way, here they passed the order that she is going to get married to a person from that village. He was staying next away, little away, so he did not come. So they said, okay, they got her married. They got her settled. She's happily settled today. And once this news naturally went to everybody, naturally the man came and he said, how is that? I'm here. I'm her husband. I'm her first husband. They said, then where were you for last 3 years when you were called? What about these 2 children? Who are taking care of them? What about their education? What about their daily needs? What about this lady's daily needs? What about this lady's physical needs? So I was so impressed to understand that concept somebody is thinking. Now, please understand, we are talking about indigenous peoples, and they have a concept of thinking about each and everybody's needs. Now, those needs are, talked about in a high level things, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we feel that, inko kya pata hai? What does these people know? But they know more than us. Because please understand, this is an incident which is an old incident. And they helped her in getting married, settling her. This man naturally was upset. He went to the police station. Police station, naturally it got escalated to court. And he told me that that was a long battle which was fought by the whole Panch and her, on her behalf. Naturally, she cannot fight that litigation. But the society, her community fought that battle for her, and finally there is an order, there is a court order in her favor.
Very good. Yeah.
So don't you think that they are powerful indigenous people?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's what you have to bring out. Yeah.
So what more you want to understand? Like, when I was just talking to these people, I realized that, yes, they are great. And we must appreciate them. We must understand that, maybe, when I talked to him, he could not speak any other language than he is Marathi, a local Marathi, which few people will follow. But luckily, because I come from Bombay, so I understood it, and I was very happy. I was really, thrilled to understand. He gave me many examples. We both don't have the time, but I would surely, would love to share with you
We have
And
time,
maybe
Shilpa. We have time. We have time. No problem. Please share them. It's very interesting. But
have some mediations lined up.
so you have to take out the you okay. That when next time. Yeah, next time.
Yes, next time. Next time. So, see, when we talk about these people, let's understand that and let's respect them. India, I have to say something. Maybe it is against me, but whenever we are going for 40 hours training for mediation, which is recognized in India at this stage, I think we are really missing out on one aspect, that is cultural life, because our mediation teaches us first important thing is learn unlearn. Now if that is an important concept, first I should learn. And India has got a vast, see, please understand, now we have already signed a treaty, we have already signed a Singapore convention, and in short time we are going to see our own act, which is already there presented. If we just miss out on focusing on a cultural aspect, see, please understand, we have got 645 tribes. That's not a small number. And when we talk about this number, they, in that tribe, there are then sub and then that. So I talk to you only about two tribes. One is Adivasi. Today, when we explained you, we discussed this. This was about one Adivasi, and there are other. So when we talk about these two, understand in that very village there are 5, 6. So if we go on seeing the each and every tribe and their beauty, the way they have done the dispute resolution, and successfully without going to the police station, without going to the land revenue officer, without, so we'll understand the concept that they are understanding exactly everything what we call philosophy of mediation. They are taking into account all those aspects, and the neutrality is maintained. That is a beauty.
Okay. So
Yes.
few points. Well, I'll just point out, which of course is important. Of course, you said so many tribes. People should know that we are a very progressive country, and we have a person from one of the scheduled tribes who's the president of India currently. And you
Yes.
spoke about Archana Tudu. I mean, that's a Santhal. Archana is from the Santhal tribe. Our
Yes.
president is also from the Santhal tribe. Only thing is, our president is from Odisha as it's called now, and Archana is from Jharkhand.
Correct.
So that is where, of course, you said that that did not know about what's happening there. Actually, the thing is that you have to dig a little deeper. She knows, she studied it, she actually sat through what was happening in the proceeding there. But the fact that there is much more happening in that area, because she wasn't concentrating on dispute resolution, maybe. So I've asked her, and I'm sure, because she seems to be someone who's really wanting to find out. So she'll find out and then she'll put it across. Let's see if on the last day she can bring something. I'll ask her. Because there is so much digging deeper that has to happen,
Yes.
which I think really hasn't happened, because people have not been able to distinguish between their arbitration and mediation, which
Correct.
I'm also going one step ahead. I'm saying arbitration, mediation, and having a peacemaker, the
Yes.
person who actually just gets you together,
Yes.
not doing any mediation, just getting together. We need those people also. So
Yes.
so that's what I'm trying to do. We'll talk about that World Mediation Circle, of course that. But one thing that I'm moving away from, which was because of the conference, and I keep telling everyone that Jeannie in the conference spoke about terminology, that everyone says parties, because mediation unfortunately has come out of the court system, and that parties word is also moved from there. So we are going to, I believe, for my purpose, I'm saying participants, because by you saying parties, you've created a kind of a rift there already, which we need to move away from. So the other thing, I think the important thing is that we'll, over time, let's create these dispute-free villages that they can actually, through these peacemakers and mediators, can actually resolve right there. I'm moving away again. I've kind of moved away earlier only from that independent and neutral words. I'm okay. You don't have to be independent. You could be related also. As long as you have the mediator mindset, it doesn't matter. Neutrality, not an issue. You don't have to be neutral, but as long as in that mediation you are impartial, perfectly all right. That's good enough. Because the thing is that once you get into that whole neutrality, independent thing, that whole discussion becomes, I mean, I feel goes into a direction where finally you'll find out that can't have a mediator. I feel there is no problem. If I'm saying if concentration is on the mediator mindset, and a person with the mediator mindset, I have no issue at all. In relation to you said about did not give a suggestion, that person in the mediation, I'm saying suggestion, give suggestion, not a problem. Again, finally it comes down to what I had put out when I put out the details of the symposium, that I'm going by the definition of the Singapore Convention that you mentioned. And the only thing, of course, is nice and broad. Process irrespective of the expression used, call it whatever you want. I mean, it doesn't matter, the name doesn't matter, how the process is carried out doesn't matter. You are suggesting, not suggesting, however you go about the process doesn't matter, as long as at the end of the day, of course, the person is assisting you and doesn't have the authority, lacks the authority to impose a solution. That's all we have to look at, because people are making it so complicated for the user. Again, this whole mediation, conciliation today in India, this whole talk about, oh, we don't have a mediation legislation. We have the best legislation. Did you ever find out that what is mediation? Does our conciliation fit into this definition? Absolutely does. So I think the point is that there is too much confusion for the user between the academic circles and the lawyers and the judges, and all that discussion is happening, and you are not the user. The user is sitting there. Don't confuse the user. Let them use the process. So I think that part of it we need to definitely put across. The other thing, you use the word Adivasi. Let's just tell people that in India, the indigenous peoples are called Adivasis. So that these are the major things. But important thing is Shilpa, you haven't told us about yourself. You have to tell us a little bit about yourself first. That was the most important thing we should have started with.
So this is Shilpa Sharat Srikhande, and me, Shilpa Mahabaleshwar Wagh. So I am from Bombay originally, and I did my graduation BCom LLB from Bombay, and thereafter Bombay University, and then I started practicing my law practice in Bombay High Court. So I was from original side until I got married, and I moved out of there on the follow the master basis as our Hindu Sanskriti, and I went to Dubai for a while. Then I came back. Came back, and now I am settled here for last 17 years. And last 7 years, I am here with Bangalore Mediation Center, which is, one of the best mediation center I can say in India. The simple reason, because we really see the party-centric process. We are very happy, and we are given that liberty to work, and we are very happy to see all the advocates who are coming here. They understand the concept. So a concept is the advocacy in mediation. They understand that, and with their help, we are able to resolve those disputes. And that's the reason we are here in, we are able to, I was given around 980 matters till now, and I was able to help them as a facilitator. As a simple reason, when the matter comes to me as any matter comes to me to my private mediations, I take it, I love to do it evaluative. But here in Bangalore Mediation Center, we are taught and we are expected to conduct them as a facilitator. So we have that practice here, and we are very happy to see the parties are coming here voluntary, even though it is coming from the court annex mediations. Parties, they come, they understand, and once they understand the party-centric process, the empowerment, that they have the power to decide and discuss the matter, they really take interest. And many cases I have seen myself, they have come here for 13B, which is a very simple case. People will say, 13B mein kya hai? वो तो दोनों ने decide किया है, both the parties have agreed for divorce. What are you doing? Just whatever they want, just write it, simple thing, sign it and send it. No. Please understand, there is a agreement. Both are agreeing, that means still something is there. And please understand that. And many times we have seen there is a reunion. They are happily staying thereafter together.
The 13, yeah.
So
Shilpa, you just mentioned that 13B is that mutual consent, divorce by mutual consent.
yes, yes. So we are seeing so many cases. They have not lived together for 7-8 years. I had one case where, you know, the father had not seen the child because she went in her 8th month. As both Bharai ke baad mein, here the practice in India is on the 8th month, when a lady is pregnant, she goes to her mother's place for her first delivery. She did not come back. And then there were certain issues which cropped up, and it just happened that there was a China wall between them. There was no dialogue. So first time when one of the party has filed a divorce petition, I realized that after 7 years, those misconceptions, misunderstandings, when that was, you know, see, we were taught always that separate the person from the problem. And the moment we realize that the person is not a problem, we separate that, the issue comes there, they both have a dialogue, and we are neutrals. We do not make any suggestions here. They themselves spontaneously come up with solutions, and then they happily go together with that decision. So, which we call here win-win situation.
Yeah. So a lot of work that you're doing. I mean, that's a good thing. I mean, at the okay, whatever the issues with the court aspect is, and of course your hands are tied in the facilitative thing. But as long as something you're saying that something is happening, I mean, now I will.
A lot of things are happening and good things are happening. I'm happy that people are happy. They are understanding the importance of mediation, a neutrality. They are respecting that, and they are coming forward. Most important thing in the whole thing is dialogue. Start dialogue. Understand the problem. Understand the interest. Understand the need. Why? When? So all these questions, they start answering themselves. Right? And see, we have no interest in the outcome because we are neutral. So outcome is yours. You decide that.
But what about other things? Indigenous peoples, there's something more. I'm sure you've done a lot of research. Now you've done your masters, and now you're looking at it differently. So what else have you looked at from the perspective of indigenous people?
I think one more time we can discuss on that because of the short of time. But I'm really happy, Vikram, to come on this show. I'm always looking forward, and always you do one thing, you give me a very short notice. I'm really
not in this case. I gave you enough time. In this
case, you gave me the notice before my exam, and I was focusing on my exam, so I got a short notice, I will say. But I'm really happy. Whenever you think about this kind of concepts, I'm happy. Simple reason, because I get a time to study, I get a time to understand, and then that learn, unlearn, which continuously happens. So today I will tell you, I am extremely happy and thankful to you. Because of you, I went and met those indigenous people. I understood their concept of dispute resolution. They gave me so many examples. Right now, I'm not able to, give you all the examples. But if you listen to them, you'll be saying, wow, I mean, they are already mediators.
Exactly. Well, that's exactly what I've been saying for so long. And that's the only, now I'm basically concentrating on that work, which is what that World Mediation Circle concept is.
But unfortunately, I have to confess one thing, that these are all seniors who gave me this information. They're all in their 70s. And now they are saying in last 20 years, the things have changed.
That's exactly what we have to be looking at and seeing that change that has happened and change.
Now I think it's time that we should go back to those indigenous people and tell them, boss, you knew better.
Exactly.
And this is what is the international mediation is all about.
That's what
because they were handling their matters about the economic issues.
Exactly.
See, it is not only husband, wife, or father and son. It was about the land issues. It was about the, buying, barter economy.
Okay.
So many issues.
What I'm doing is right now on record, We have a symposium on colonization, decolonization, and mediation, which starts on 15th September. It'll go up till 30th September. You've got advanced thing. This is a good point to research how colonization has affected their own disputes resolution system.
True,
What has
very
got
true.
that's very important. I've been saying throughout the symposium that I didn't want to mix the two, because the lot of negative aspects will be discussed in that. Let's now what you've come out with is such nice positive things happening there. So that's why that was kept separately. But you have to do your research. You have time. Your master's is over now, so that symposium will fix the time for that. Yes, and I'm sure you have someone waiting for you now, it seems. So any whatever concluding remarks, you've already given your concluding remarks to a certain extent. Anything else, please? And it's always
Um,
wonderful speaking to
I
you.
want to only say that Vikram, keep bringing new themes which are going to benefit everybody. Bring all the mediators under one umbrella. Everybody has something to share. Simple reason, because every human being is different. And when that person has done even 10 mediations, he has met at least 40 people, 40 different culture, and then he has done that mediation successfully. See, please don't remember that we are not talking about the outcome, because we never looked at the outcome, whether they signed the document or they have not signed the document. The way I said that this case, which I explained to you between the husband and wife, it's a best example of MEDA.
Yep.
When mediation failed, it was escalated to arbitration.
Yeah. What I'm also saying now is, and I've been saying that for a long time, like I said, no qualification required. I'm telling people, you feel you're a mediator, go out and tell people, I will help you resolve your dispute. You're doing some good activity. If they trust you, you are a mediator. That's all that's required. Sit there. It's that they are stuck in, they don't want you, they can move out of it. But you go out. I'm saying, even if there is a car accident that you see, get off, go there. See that if you can mediate it, you will get your own practice if you have to. People say, oh, they need practice, mock thing. You have real life situations happening every day around you. Go out,
Yes.
reach out, go help. Don't fall for this trap that these industries have created, these 40-hour factories. Don't fall for that trap. They'll go on saying it, they're making money out of it. They'll keep saying, oh, anyone can put up a sign of a mediator. The government has fallen for that trap. This bill that has come out, totally, I mean, look,
I
luckily,
don't say anything on that.
no, I'm saying it. Luckily, in this bill also, people can choose their own mediator. The other institutional thing that people are regulated, I keep saying, I mean, I'll say it here also, that law firms in this country are not regulated who give out advice in their own name. You want to regulate institutions which are only providing infrastructure. The mediation is done by mediators. Here in law firms, they cannot touch them because lawyers, for some reason, are not touched. Why are law firms not regulated? Can you imagine in a country like us, they cannot do anything to the law firm. It's only the lawyer which is regulated. It's so sad. And the institutions here you want to touch. I mean, really, the whole thing is so. I mean, for like in your case, all the mediations that you do in this center, you get nothing out of it. I mean, you get something. I don't know. I'm saying, but in relation to the experience that you have, the years of experience that you have, this is nothing. And the lawyers who are litigating, I'm
Sometimes we work for happiness also, we get pleasure.
no,
That when somebody says, I'll tell you, Vikram, it's not always about the money. Of course it is
absolutely,
money.
absolutely.
But sometimes they come and shake our hand and their eyes are, full of tears, and that is not sad. They're so happy. And the way they want to thank us again and again, that happiness is something that is blessing.
No, I'm saying just something else. What I'm saying is that it's your passion. Your passion is taken advantage of. On the other end, I'm saying what you need to regulate is the fee of the litigating lawyers. What you are getting as a mediator, put that fee as a cap for the litigating lawyers. That, okay, they can't charge more than that. Then I'll understand that the courts are trying to do something there for the litigant. But that can't be regulated because that as the community has become that strong, they won't let you do anything. How are they not? Why are they not regulated? And why is the fees of a mediator regulated? What is the reason for it? You want to promote mediation? Tell people that you should go for mediation.
That people like you should take it up. And
I am this side. Look,
yes.
I put out. I said.
But one thing I want to say as a closing note, that see, India is doing really good. Simple reason, because I myself I was lucky and I got a chance. This was a dispute between India and another country, a commercial issue. And when they came here, the party. I really wanted to say, I don't want to say they are developed country. So when he came, he said, okay. I mean, his tone was okay, fine. I'm here because this party has got me here for mediation. Okay. But when he left the thing, they settled and contract has revived and all these things happened. He said, I'm really impressed. He said, India has improved so much. I told him, India was always like this. It is your perception. You have come here and you have witnessed it. I'm really happy. And I hope that you send a message to the rest of the world because this is your first hand experience. We were always like this. Mediation was happening here. We were capable. Only thing, the exposure. And today, everybody is getting exposure. That's a great thing. So thank you very much.
I'll tell you, there's some nice comments which I'll just read out to you. Krishna Gopal Mishra is saying good, and Dineshwar Gaur, great event. Sonal has put some message here. One second, let me just have a look. It says, wonderful example of the village. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Shilpa. Very insightful for position of mediation with respect to India. So nice comments, and I'm sure people will, as they watch it, they'll send out good comments
because
this is required. So thank you, Shilpa. And of course, you're short of time today, but we'll take up this. We are out there, we're discussing, we'll take it up again. So thank you very much. Lovely always to speaking to you and seeing you.